Hi, today I'm making a few molds. One, it's a vertical soap mold. I made this with foam core board, and it is the size of a regular bar, well, about 2.5 inches wide and 3.5 inches tall. The mold itself is about 5 inches tall, a little bit more, but I'm not gonna fill it all the way. And this is the board. I cut the base out of this corner, and then I cut the walls from this side, and I glue them together. And after I glue them together, I put tape so they'll have a smooth and glossy finish. Now I need to create the enclosure. Okay, so I placed the mold upside down, and I'm just going to trace around it just to have a rough idea. Now I'm measuring what will be the thickness of the walls. Initially I did it too thin, so I had to readjust it and then repeat on every side. So I've cut the base. As you can see, it's just slightly bigger than the mold. So I'm gonna now cut the walls, and it's just gonna be the same. They're gonna be slightly bigger than the actual mold. I want the outside of the mold to also be shiny, so I'm going to be covering it with shipping tape, all of the pieces as well, just the one side that is going to be facing the inside of the mold. And now it's time to pour the silicone. I'm going to include a link in the description with the products that I used. This one has a 45-minute working time, and it's part A and part B, and you mix them together until they have a uniform color. So I finished mixing it, and I noticed that there were a lot of bubbles coming up to the surface. This is normal and happens when you mix the silicone. I did try to pop them out, and I also gonna let this rest for about a minute to see if some of them disintegrate. Another tip to get rid of them is that I'm going to pour from a higher point so that as they fall they get dissolved as well. So this mold is leaking at the bottom. I cannot show you because it's at the very bottom. I'm going to try to add more hot glue gun, try to clean it up a little bit, and then add more glue gun, and hopefully it can stop the leak. So this is the next day. This is what I ended up doing. I glue it to a tile, and I also put more glue gun on it. These are the spots from where it was leaking. To avoid it, I should have taped it all the way at the bottom, and that would have helped a lot. Or I should have added more hot glue gun, whichever, but sealing it with tape also works before any leak happens. Now that I managed to remove the outside walls, I need to remove the inside walls as well. So the mold, I believe, will need support, and I thought of using the foam core pieces and sort of put them together for support, which I think will work and will be easy. I don't know how many times I'll be able to reuse that. So then I thought, I have this. It doesn't fit, but I can rearrange it and make it around it. So why should I do something easy when I can make something complicated? Yay! So here's what the mold looks like. This has been over a year since I made it. And I actually ended up using it without supports for the most part. It will bow a little with the soap in place, so sometimes what I do is that I put something like a heavy container on the sides to keep it in shape, and that has worked for the most part. I normally use it when I want to make like a 1 pound mold and I have a design that works best on a vertical way. The only thing I wish I would be more careful is to make sure that all the walls were evenly sized. This wall at the very bottom is thinner. You can see how it easily shapes, but it's mostly at the bottom. All the other walls are fairly thick all throughout. But anyway, I've been able to wash it and reuse it many times, and I'm happy with the results.